Guys, so right here I am making an egg frittata for dinner. I'm going to use ghee, and right now I'm going to cook down my trinity, which is your bell peppers, celery, and onions. That's going to go in my frittata. And then I am going to prepare my Italian breakfast sausage, which is in my book, The Nourishing Apothecary. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mix up my eggs, and I'm going to add my trinity to them, and then I'm going to put it in my flat cast iron skillet, and I'm going to bake it in the oven. I'll be back. Okay, so along with this meal, we're having a breakfast meal for dinner. I always use the Kerrygold pure Irish butter because it's healthier for you and it's real butter if I don't make my own. And I'm going to go ahead and use the sourdough English muffins. I'm going to bake them in the oven, cut them in half, bake them in the oven, and just add butter. And then we're going to have the frittata, and we're going to have the Italian breakfast sausage patties on the side. Okay, so right here I'm going to mix my eggs. I added a little bit of pink salt and black pepper. Now you can add cheddar cheese, which is wonderful, but because our baby grandson can't have dairy, I'm not going to add cheese. So here I am just blending it, and I'm going to go ahead and mix my onions, bell pepper, and celery. And excuse the noise in the background because we have our grandchildren over, so all of my videos are mainly real and raw. All right, so here we are mixing it, and then we're going to pour it into this pan, and I used 9 eggs in this. I'm not sure what size. It says number one on the Lodge flat pan. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it. And yep, it fits all the way to the top, and it will not ruin it. It will not go over whenever you bake it. So I'm going to bake that in the oven and then pull it out, and it'll be ready. All right, so I'm getting ready to prepare my pan for adding these in the oven because it cooks it quicker and I have a large amount. Now I am preheating my oven to 375. I'm going to cook this from anywhere to 6 to 10 minutes, the frittata. Now guys, you can do all kinds of things with eggs frittata. You can add potatoes, you can add just about whatever you want in it. Now I'm going to go ahead and line this with unbleached parchment paper. I'm going to cut my sourdough in half, add the butter on top, and it's going to toast it in the oven. Okay, so I find it easier to crumple the paper when lining these aluminum pans, which I am working on getting rid of, and getting my stainless steel pans, so I don't really have to do this anymore. But I'll probably still do it because it helps the cleanup be a little bit easier and things don't get stuck to it as much. All right, guys, so what I do is I get a bread knife, and I just simply cut them in half. And you can toast them in the toaster, but we have a large amount of people to feed tonight, so I'm going to just go ahead and do this, and I'll be back. All right, so I have buttered all of my English muffins, and they are sourdough muffins, as I said. My oven is preheated to 375. I am going to carefully place this in the oven. Oh, thank God I got it. Okay, and I'm going to let that cook for about 6 minutes, and then I'm going to put these in there to toast. Okay, so here I am with my pound of Italian pork ground meat. And I use the natural kind. You can find it at Kroger. Some other stores have them because it is less processed, okay? It is more natural and doesn't have all the processing that just the plain regular ground pork has. So the pork patties that I'm making, the breakfast sausage, I know exactly what ingredients are going in here from my cookbook, and there's nothing else. There's no preservatives. There's no bad ingredients that you don't even know how to read on the back of the package. And I'm going to go ahead and add all of my seasonings, and we'll be back. 2 of your main ingredients that make this so special is your fennel seeds and your sage. Okay, so in my ingredient list, I call for ground fennel and for also the seeds themselves. Now, if you cannot find ground fennel in the store, you can get a coffee grinder, and that's what I'm doing. And I use this for my herbs. I wanted to mention for a second, if you don't have one of these coffee grinders or herb grinders, for your spices and your herbs, you can use a mortar and pestle. I use mine a lot. I have another one as well. So you can use this to grind down into a fine powder. I just wanted to let y'all know that. All right, so I've added all of my seasoning to my Italian breakfast sausage, and I'm going to go ahead and make the patties and cook them up. All right, and this is the size that I make my Italian breakfast sausage patties. You can roll them and make rolled sausages. You can do anything with them. You can freeze them for other times that you want to cook it. But I'm going to go ahead and make this full batch because we have a big family here today. All right, guys. Now, while my patties are cooking, here's my frittata. And I usually cut them like this. Okay, my first batch is done. And I will show you what they look like. Now, guys, when I tell you, after you cook homemade Italian sausage, which you can use in any Italian dish, make meatballs, you can make patties, different things. They're so good. These are so tasty. All right, guys, the English muffins are going in the oven so they can get toasted and melt the butter. All right, guys, I have the rest of my Italian breakfast sausage cooking, and I made 11 with them. You can, as I said, you can make them smaller. I made them a little thick, so you can make them thinner and even get more patties out of them. Guys, the flavor profile of all the herbs that I've used in the patties are just so delicious. The volatile oils from the herbs are coming through. The flavor is just coming through out of these patties. They are so delicious. If you try anything in my book, you need to try these patties. And as I said, they can be used for several different recipes. And here is dinner. It is so delicious. And remember, guys, in my book, I mentioned on the Italian breakfast sausage, you can make and prepare them ahead of time. So you're not having to cook them and prepare them and everything in one, whole cooking. You can prepare them and you can freeze them in between parchment paper and just pull out what you need as you cook them. And here it is. All right, guys, you can find my Italian breakfast sausage in my book that is available on my website. Go get you one.